Hello, Kelly Cougars, and welcome to week 2 of your online library lessons. This week, I am introducing National Hispanic Heritage Month and putting a special spotlight on the life of librarian Pura Belpre. You might be thinking, what is Hispanic Heritage Month? Well, all over the United States, people are celebrating National Hispanic Heritage Month from September 15th through October 15th. We celebrate the histories, cultures, and contributions of American citizens whose ancestors came from Spain, Mexico, the Caribbean, and Central and South America. You might be thinking, who is Pura Belpre? Well, Pura Belpre was the first Puerto Rican librarian in the New York City Public Library system. Today, she is honored by the American Library Association with an award called the Pura Belpre Award, which was created in 1996 and is awarded each year to a Latina writer and illustrator whose work or stories best describes, supports, and celebrates the Latino cultural experience in an outstanding book for children. Who was Pura Belpre? Well, as you already know, she was the first Puerto Rican librarian to work for New York City's public libraries. Today we're going to hear a biography, a true story about her life. And during the story, I want you to think about, how does Pura decide to bring her stories to life? When she shares her stories, what languages does she use? Why do you think she speaks in more than one language? Today, the story is brought to you by the author herself.
Hola, I am Anika Aldamoy Denise, and I'm the author of Planting Stories, The Life of Librarian and Storyteller Pura Belpre. I'm very proud of this book because it celebrates the life of Pura Belpre, the first Puerto Rican librarian in New York City. Planting Stories, The Life of Librarian and Storyteller Pura Belpre. Words by Anika Aldamoy Denise. Illustrations by Paula Escobar. It is 1921. Pura Teresa Belpre leaves her home in San Juan for a visit to Nueva York. Words travel with her. Stories her abuela taught her. Cuentos folclóricos Pura retold in the shade of a tamarind tree in Puerto Rico. Now a new island stretches before her, ripe for planting seeds of the cuentos she carries. Manhattan, a city of hustle and bustle, bigger, louder, crowded, yet alive with hope and possibility. What began as a visit to celebrate her sister's wedding becomes the first steps in a new land y una vida nueva for Pura. She works first in a garment factory, but it is cold floors and hard edges, not the soft, fertile ground where seeds take root. Then, a golden opportunity, una bendición. The library needs a bilingual assistant. Pura speaks Spanish, English, and French. She is perfect for the job. But where are her abuela's stories? Not one folktale from Puerto Rico is on the shelves. How lucky for the library that Pura has story seeds ready to plant and grow. In the children's room, she lights the story hour candle and begins. Her eyes dance, her voice sings. Pura's words paint a picture of a little house with a round balcony where Martina, a beautiful Spanish cockroach, meets Pérez, a handsome and gallant mouse. El ratoncito Pérez y la cucarachita Martina, a tale from the tamarind tree. When Pura's story is done, each child makes a wish on the candle, and with a wisp of air, whoosh, la vela is blown out. Now, Pura has a wish to plant her story seeds throughout the land. Pura learns to make puppets. She snips and sews their clothes, paints their delicate faces. Families come to hear folktales in Inglés y Español, to watch Pura's puppets dance across the stage of her stories. But the library needs libros for its shelves. How can more children read Pérez y Martina and other cuentos de Puerto Rico? Pura puts her story in an envelope and mails it to Frederick Warren, a publisher. Soon, Pérez y Martina is a book. Now a published author, puppeteer, and storyteller, Pura travels from branch to branch, classroom to classroom, to churches and community centers, planting her story seeds in the hearts and minds of children new to this island, who wish to remember la lengua y los colores of home. Writing, learning, speaking, teaching, traveling. Pura does not slow down until, like the beautiful Martina, she meets her Pérez. On a December day in New York, Pura marries the musician Clarence Cameron White. Un año away from the library, she decides. 1 year to start a new life as a wife. But a year stretches on. Together, they travel to new cities. Clarence plays his music. Pura tells her stories. Tweet, 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 tweet. They are happy years of music and writing, separations and reunions, friends, family, and stories. Always. Until, on a June day in New York, Clarence stops playing his music, and Pura's story must begin again. It is 1961. Pura returns to the library. There are others now, storytellers who make puppets dance, who read Pérez y Martina, The Tiger and the Rabbit, Juan Bobo, The Three Magi, and many more of Pura's stories to the children. The seeds she has planted, the roots that grew shoots into the open air of possibility, have become a lush landscape into which she steps as though she has never left. The end. El fin.
All right, a few more reflection questions. How does Pura bring books about Puerto Rico to the library? Why is this so important? Why is the book called Planting Stories? This week, you have 2 options for your activities. You can write or record your voice answers to the reflection questions shared before and after the read aloud, or you can do an interview project. This project is called Coming to America, and you are asked to interview an older family member or a friend. These are some suggested questions. You can add questions of your own. Ask them in what country they were born or their parent or grandparents. For example, I know that my great-grandfather on my mother's side moved from Sicily to New York. You can ask when and why did they come to the United States? I don't know why my great-grandpa Pop moved from Sicily to the United States. So that's a question I will be asking my mother. Did they speak English? What was the experience like for them? I know that my Pop did not speak very much English, if any at all, when he moved to New York. Since he died right around the time I was born, I will have to ask my mother what that experience may have been like for him. Once you've finished conducting your interview and you have all your answers, I want you to share your findings in a poster or by making a short video or by recording your findings in a voice recording. Until next time, Kelly Cougars.